Hi everybody, welcome back. This is GooseyFibers podcast number something, and I'm Kate. Hi. I am coming to you from the South Shore of Massachusetts, where I live with, I'm trying to do a spiel like Kristen with Your Orgasm does, where I live with my husband and my 2-year-old son and our dog and our soon almost a kitten. Hi. I had a big coffee. Can you tell? Wow. So last time we talked, I assured you up and down, I swore that I would not go that long in between saying hi. And then I did. And it's been 3 weeks and I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Things get crazy. So yeah, 3 weeks. But yeah, I have a couple things to show you, so that's nice. I have been cross-stitching a little bit, but I left my project in the other room and it took a lot for me to get here and prepared, so I'm just going to leave it over there because I haven't done a lot. I'm working on the national parks. I guess we're just jumping into it. Excuse me if I adjust a lot. I'm uncomfortable. I'm working on the National Park's 100th anniversary cross stitch by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's super cute, but I'm not very far into it because I lost my cross stitching mojo like a year ago and it just hasn't picked up again. I designed a pattern based on a Berenstain Bears book, No Girls Allowed, and it was really intricate and it's super intense and a little too intense, and it kind of killed off my mojo. It was taking forever and I just was like, that's enough, that's enough. But I'll talk about cross-stitching just a tiny bit because one thing I have found out through podcasting and through fellow podcasters, one, you guys cross-stitch. And that makes the child in me that cross-stitched and kept it like a deep, dark secret, because what 12-year-old wants other 12-year-olds to know that they can't wait to go home and cross-stitch. So I'm really happy that so many of you do that. I feel like I found my people after all of these years and I'm really happy about it. So anyway, what I've also been finding out from you guys is that there's actually techniques of cross-stitching. There's like different styles. There's like the Danish style and I don't know, the English style or something. Much like knitting, there's different ways of doing things. And there's something called cross-country, which it turns out is what I do. I didn't know there was more than one way to cross stitch. I was like, you make X's. Like how you do it is in the name. You cross stitch. But there's all these different things, and I've figured out ways to, excuse me, my nose is so itchy. I have figured out how not to leave a bunch of knots in the back of my work, and so now the back looks super pretty. This is great. So yeah, there's that. I don't know, I've posted a couple pictures on Instagram if you follow me there, and there's just not a lot to show right now. I haven't done much of it, and I have this other project that I bought, what is her name, on Etsy. Oh my god, she makes the prettiest sort of like modern cross stitches. Shoot! I'll put it in my show notes. I bought a Christmas design that she had made. I think we've talked about this before. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. We have ragweed all through our yard, and since I've talked about it's a new house and I do not have a green thumb, so I didn't know what plants were coming up, and there were all these really big plants that kind of grew out of nowhere, and I thought, wow, I barely have to do anything in this garden, and then it turns out it's ragweed. We've just been letting it grow like we're cultivating it, and it's like my nose has been unbearably itchy for like 3 days, I'm itchy everywhere. It's not fun. But we pulled it all up yesterday, so hopefully it'll all get better. But oh my gosh, I'm so itchy. I'm so sorry if I'm just scratching at my face this whole podcast. I will try not to. I might do it. Anyway, I have a Christmas cross stitch that I want to make into a table runner, and I bought the fabric for it. It's linen, 28 count linen, which I've never done linen before. I just thought cross stitch, like you go to Michael's and you buy some Aida cloth and like 14 count to 16 count and you just do that. But no, there's all these different things that you can do, and that's really exciting. So I might push my frosted pumpkin thing aside for a little while and maybe do the Christmas, or maybe I'll just try to power through and get something done. Something. So, way to talk about cross stitching with nothing to show. So let's just go to knitting. Look what I finally finished. That's my Christmas Eve cast on. They're finally done. I don't know what my problem was. I've discussed it before. But yeah, I could not for the life of me get into making these socks. The pattern's beautiful, the yarn is beautiful. I don't think they're necessarily great together, but what are you gonna do? I was not going to frog this yarn a fourth time. So yep, this is my fourth pair of Christmas Eve cast on socks, and the first pair that I didn't frog and did finish. And they're fine the way they are. And Dawn from Crafty Mama, she has a great podcast. She got a kick out of my last pair of socks, completely not matching. So these match. That's for you, Dawn. I actually thought of you when I was finishing them up. Like, ooh, shoot, better double check. Those are going to match. So they do. That's great. I'm not even going to talk about them any further. I think I've talked about them every episode I've done. I just wanted to show you they're done. I can throw them in my drawer because it's July and I'm not wearing wool socks in July. I'm not crazy. They're done. I never have to talk about them again. And I have one other finished project, which if you follow my Instagram, you saw me getting a little pissy about this project because it's a Danish pattern and it was translated, and I think it just left a couple things out in the translation. Like it forgot to have instructions to put some stitches on scrap yarn for seaming on the underarms. So when it came to the sleeves, I just had these whole sleeves, nothing on scrap yarn, no stitches to hold, and it was like, now just put the sleeves on. And I was getting so mad. I had 2 sleeves done and the entire skirt and no way of putting them on. So I did this sort of like, I'll show you. So this is the peacock dress. It's knitting for Olive. Can you see it? I hope so. It is darling and I love it so much, which is why I was like, I'm not frogging this. And it's for my friend, and when I had my baby, she's the sweetest person in the world, and she was sending me all these things that had nothing to do with the baby because I already had a billion of those things. She was sending me like really fancy candles and just like bath soaks and just like such thoughtful things. And everything I know that she likes, she already gets for herself, so I can't really do the same favor back, but I could make a thing that's one of a kind in a yarn that I dyed specifically for her baby. It is on my Etsy, but this was, her little baby was the reason I made this yarn. And I saw this pattern, and she's from Argentina. She's just super classy and amazing. And I just felt like her baby is going to be the classiest, like most aristocratic baby in the world. So I just thought like beautiful lace and just so pretty. So I'm really glad I found a way to do this. So right here is where the skirt ended and suddenly I had to sew sleeves on. I think I did a pretty good job. There's a tiny little hole right there. And you can see there's a bit of a deviation in the pattern. I don't know, can you see it? It's like, sorry, oh my gosh, I'm just flipping you all the bird right now. Yeah, see how this row gets a little wonky, especially right in the middle here? I just did what I could. I just tried to kind of keep this pattern going, and I was sort of like subtracting stitches and adding stitches to try and get some underarm seaming stitches. So it was a little wonky for a few rows, but I did it. And so here's either the front or back, depending on how she'll wear it. It's really cute. It's, sorry, I'm saying about a million times already. You stitch back and forth after a certain point. You start turning the work and stitching back and forth. So it creates this cute little opening. And then you do, at the very end, you just do this cute little crochet chain, which some of you know I am not a crochet person. I want to be. I aspire to be. But I'm incredibly intimidated by it. Everything, I knit English style, not continental. Oh gosh, my husband and son are about to come inside and make a racket. I knit. I'm podcasting.
Okay. I just need apple juice.
Okay, so I knit English style, so I hold the yarn in my right hand, which makes me a slow knitter. And so crocheting just makes no sense to me because I feel like everything's in the other hand, and I don't know. I feel completely out of sorts when I do it, but I'm going to do it. Anyway, and so here's a cute little can you see him? I don't know how to make it focus. Other people do this much better than I do. Oh, there he is. That's not bad. Ish. Yeah, little owl. I have a little set of 3 from, I think it's from Knit Picks, maybe? I don't know. I ordered a bunch of them a while ago because I just think they're cute little baby buttons that I can basically sew onto any sort of baby thing ever. So it's done. I finished it and now I can mail it off, but I didn't want to mail it off until I did a podcast and showed you guys that I did not frog this project because you guys are so sweet. I was putting out on Instagram how frustrated I was and you were all like, don't frog it. So I found a way, and thank you so much for your encouragement because I didn't frog it. I'm really happy with it. I know, I just keep showing it. It's so cute. So Pernille Lawson is the designer. She does knitting for Olive, which there's a bunch of different designs under there. This is going to be another one that I'm thinking about doing. All knitting for Olive. How cute is that? I want a baby girl. You can't get my kid to dress in this. But, oh, so cute. My kid's out back trying to jump off of our deck. My husband's like blocking him all day because my kid is feral. And I love him for it. I love that he's a little bit wild. Oh, did you see this? I showed you this last time. This is the Sorrento shawl, but it's just so pretty. I have it on my couch right now. It's soft. It's pretty. Because this little couch is just, it's not a great couch. We bought it when we first moved to Massachusetts and we had no money. And all we could afford was a love seat. So we had this big old living space and like this love seat that we were crowded in on. So now it's just in this tiny little spare room that I don't know what to do with. So, yeah. That's another little factoid about my home. Just gonna drop stuff on the floor if you hear me doing that. Okay, so those are the things I have done. Excuse all the things moving around. I have a bunch of things on my needles, but they've been on my needles and hibernating for long enough that I completely lost all interest. I don't know when I'll get it back. I really want to because they're beautiful projects, but right now I'm feeling a little bit low on knitting mojo. So I went back to the basics. I bought some sock patterns. This is the Mina Phillips, the Knitting Expat. She did a like a collection. It's not done releasing. It's something like 7 or 9 patterns or something that you get. It was a really good deal. So I've never done any of her sock patterns, and she seems to be a sock knitter extraordinaire. So I really wanted to do some. So I'm doing this one right now, the Avenues. It's really cool. And I have all of this yarn, this sort of, I hesitate to call it Goosey fiber yarn because it's not yarn that I'm selling. It's sort of like first tries or things that I just am not happy with or whatever. So I am using the very first sock blank I tried to make. And I was like, this is going to be gold. And I tried to do Doctor Who. It's so bad. It's unbelievably bad. Like when I saw this, I was just like, well, that can't be sold. I don't even know what to do with like a bad sock blank. But I like the colors. It reminds me very much of like Saved by the Bell colors. You know, it's like early 90s, like hot purple, sea blue, you know. Anyone else? No? I hear crickets. So I'm doing, it is always, you know, if you've knit with sock blanks, it always looks messy at first. So try not to judge too harshly, but this is how it's knitting up. Sorry, I have a light on right now because this room's dark and there's literally no lighting in this room. There's no switch or anything. I don't understand the construction of our house. But, well, you can kind of see the pattern. I'm doing the 2-row stacked pattern, and I think if I did it again, I'd either do the 4-row or the 6-row, just to give it a little bit of breathing room, because right now it's a little bit stacked on itself. But one thing I appreciate, I appreciate the whole pattern, but one thing especially is I learned how to do a German short row heel. It was the fastest heel I've ever done in my life. I can't believe that's all it took to do a heel. Now, it kind of reminds me of the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And I am a little bit judgy about like there's no interest to the heel. Like it's just like, here's a heel. You know what I mean? There's no like Kiss the Partridge type thing or partridge heel or I don't know. It's just a heel. Like put it on your foot. It's a sock. Wear it. Which I really appreciate because it really was the fastest heel I've ever done. It was like 10 minutes. I've never done a heel that fast in my life. And it had like double stitches, which also I've only done a tiny bit of in like Stephen West projects. I think Exploration Station maybe did them, or maybe a sweater I did. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of them. It's where you essentially like, you slip a stitch and then you pull it really tight so that sort of the double of the previous stitch sort of winds over the needle. So it's really cool. And she has just such clear patterns, which I fully appreciate. So yeah, she's a genius. I'm sure you all know that. And I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I like the colors. I think it's going to be a really fun thing to wear. Yeah, and it uses this sock blank because what else am I going to do with it? I don't know. So ugly. So yeah, that is what I'm working on, and that's really it, you guys. I have been eyeing crochet patterns because I really want to do a temperature blanket in a crochet pattern, and I wanted to do it for 1 full year, the first full year of my son's life, so it would start January 24th, 2015. And I just want to do, I was going to just do the high temperature, but then I was seeing like there's all these pages. I'm now part of a Facebook group of people that specifically, do you hear all the dogs barking? My dog is a troublemaker and she gets all the neighbors' dogs going. I wonder if you hear that or not. It might just be me. Anyway, it turns out temperature blankets are like a big thing and people are really doing them, and I'm super excited. And one of the things I was finding out from this Facebook group, book group, is people are knitting double, and they'll have one thread for the high temperature of the day and one for the low. And I think that's so cool. So you could do a worsted weight blanket with 2 fingering weights at the same time. So I think I've settled on the Tunisian blanket. There'll be a link down below. There will be a link down below because I don't have the pattern printed out. I don't think I've even bought it yet. I scoped it out on Ravelry. Someone else had done it from the Facebook group, and I thought I like the cut of her jib, so I'm stealing her jib. What do I mean? So yeah, that'll be a blanket, but then I was thinking maybe I should just try like a granny stripe blanket first, just so I can get the hang of crochet. I don't know. I have a friend I met online through Instagram, and she's a great crocheter, and she pointed me to all these crochet sites, hi Susan, that I haven't done anything with yet because I'm intimidated. So I'll get to it eventually. Yeah. How do I usually do things? It's been 3 weeks. What do I do here? I think let's just do a shop update. Just smack dab in the middle of things. I'll get on to general chatter in a minute, but I have all this stuff sitting next to me and I need to do something with it. I don't know why I brought this over. This is an old design. Flamingos. You've seen it before, but hey, I like it. There it is. I think I grabbed it because someone ordered it and I have to put it over in my my shipping station, also known as the dining room table. That'll go there. That has to go to somebody. So I have a few new designs. I really like them. I have okay, I'll just show you. Here's Goldfish. This is my least favorite color pairing of it, but people like it. I like it. It's just my least favorite of the others because I have 3 backgrounds, 3 different types of pairings. This is my favorite. It's like a pinky, light yellow background with this cool looking fish. Oh, it's called fish tank, not goldfish. It is a goldfish though. I was looking at pictures. I was trying to draw betta fish and I looked at all these pictures on Google, and then I saw this one fish that I thought was so pretty, and it was like bluish. It had like a little bit of blue, I swear it did, but it was mostly gold. And so I drew that out. And I practiced and practiced and practiced, and I made these yarn blanks, and then my husband came home and was like, nice goldfish. I drew a goldfish. So, whatever. I'll do a betta fish at some point. I like betta fish. They're pretty, but they are certainly a little bit more flowery than your standard goldfish. So, here's the last one. Goldfish. Looks like a goldfish. Sorry for the shiny light. I like him too. That was one design. Then I was watching a lot of podcasters and they're doing like Christmas in July, and I thought that's a great idea. I like July. So I did a yarn blank for Christmas in July. This is Nutcracker on Holiday because that's what came to me when I thought, what would Christmas be doing in July? It would probably be on vacation. And I think a nutcracker's a good symbol of Christmas because they crack nuts. Why are they a symbol of Christmas? You only eat nuts on Christmas? I don't know. My parents used to have a nutcracker. People are messaging me. Hi. People are... Why am I repeating that? Oh, I had so much coffee. Anyway, my parents used to have a nutcracker, I think. I don't know what happened to it. But there he is in his little Hawaiian shirt. And... Oh, stop messaging! And his hot orange shorts, but he's still wearing his nutcracker boots. And that's only going to be available the month of July, I should have said. So only a couple more weeks, I think. And then he's going into storage. And, oh, I had one more. I made a bunch more of these, so they're all drying right now. So he's not folded up like the others. So I'll just do my best to show him nicely. This is my current favorite yarn blank. I'm so proud of how he came out, or how she came out. It's called Cheat Day. Can you see it? Isn't it fun? I love it so much. It's so funny. I feel like this fish is my spirit animal. She's just hungry. She just slept in, didn't eat breakfast, and now she's got to eat a donut. Don't judge. Love this fish. And I've always been fascinated with like the scary, scary ocean things because they scare me, and there's something fascinating about just naturally terrifying things. And I remember when I was a little kid, I had this book about the deep blue sea, and there was a page on anglerfish, and I just thought they were the most terrifying things I'd ever seen in my life. And I was like enthralled with these fish. I would just stare at this page. And I was always really relieved that they live pretty much in the deep ocean and you're not gonna run into them, because can you even imagine? They actually are really small too, mostly. They're kind of small. But I like to think that they're really huge, and some of them get big, like 4 to 6 feet or something like that. I read on the internet, so you know it's true. But yeah, that's my anglerfish. So, as far as other shop dates, I have been thinking a lot about, I'm looking at my wall of yarn. I've been thinking a lot about slowly retiring some colors and bringing in some new ones. So I've been slowly making new colors. I think I showed you guys these before, but I've been lately obsessed with a couple of movies from my childhood. So this is the Princess Bride collection that I'm starting, and I will slowly add to. This is iocane powder. No, we're back to color not showing up normally. There it is. That looks more normal. Iocane powder. And this is lightning sand. Yep, I'm just gonna hold them all up to me because that's the only, because the light's over here and everything gets bright. Oh no, that's good. Hi, lightning sand. Love these. I'm working on a little bit more tonals in the shop because I feel like I'm lacking those, and I like a tonal. And when it comes to like knitting sweaters and things like that, I pretty much only want to use tonals, so I'm trying to add more as I go. Okay, here's, this is not a tonal. Here's lightning sand. Here's Cliffs of Insanity. Not a tonal, but it's, you know, it's pretty low key. It's got like greens and reds, but it's not in your face variegated. You know, it's pretty mellow as far as it goes, but it's really pretty. It's very much my style. It's blue. Of course, it's my style. There's that. And then all right, well, this is gonna be in the Princess, I haven't even wound it. It was on my drying rack. It's dry now, but I haven't done anything with it yet. So here's a new one. It's gonna be a Princess Bride one colorway. It's like lightly variegated. Isn't that pretty? But I haven't named it yet. I have some names written down. I just need to assign. So that's a new one. You can look for it in the shop. I'll probably add it tonight. No, I won't. No, tomorrow. And then, okay, so I started a new line also based on another favorite one of my movies from childhood, Blade Runner, also because they're doing a sequel and I think it's coming out really soon. So, Blade Runner, this is, oh my gosh, what is it called? It's like Black Galaxies, I think it's called. Black Galaxies. So this is so fun. It's so Blade Runner to me. Ignore it. It had a different name for a little while, but it's not going to be that. So ignore that. So here it is. How fun is that? It's like gray and a little splashes of not really hot pink. It's sort of like I don't know, almost a neon purplish pink. It's got some pink. It's got some bright blues in there. Oh, why are these colors? Anyway, it's either looking drab against me or like washed out. Oh, no, maybe. I love it. It's fun. I just added it to the shop and it's already, oh, this guy got sold actually. What did I call it? I think it's Black Galaxies from the whole Tears and Rain speech at the end that Rutger Hauer gives. Rutger Hauer gives. Keep wanting to say Rutgers Howard. Nope, didn't want to say that either. Oh my god. You guys, I should not be allowed to drink coffee after noon because it makes me weird. So here's another one. I just made this up yesterday. I love it. This is another Blade Runner colorway that I have not yet named, but will name it. Will put it in the shop ASAP because it's the coolest. I love it so much. I've been playing a lot with hot pink lately, and oh, I love it so much. It's really hard to hold it against like sort of a more muted patterned shirt, but yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's the blues are getting washed out. There's like a lot of blue speckling and things like that, but that's getting a little bit washed out. But I love it, and I think these two are so cool together. It's like a his and hers. Aww, so sweet. So there's those guys. And then I have new bases. I also haven't listed those in the shop either. I have worsted now. I have singles, fingering singles. That always sounds so dirty. And I have, I'm going back and forth. This is non-superwash. It's just merino. And I like it. I do like it. I was having a hard time, like I felt like I had to wash this 1,000 more times than I usually have to wash out my yarn, because it just like the color it just didn't want to hold on to the color quite as much as superwash did. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm on a group message with my friends and they are all talking right now. Love you guys, but get out of here. Anyway, so this is non-superwash. I'm deciding if I'm going to keep it. This is also not yet named. It's going to be a Princess Bride colorway. I wish I could show it to you guys better. What I love about the non-superwash though is so squishy. It's amazing. Like the texture difference it's different. It's really squishy. I mean, this is just fingering weight wool and it's fingering weight merino and it's really squishy. It's like a cloud. So that's going to be a Princess Bride colorway. I don't know if I'm going to make this one or not. I don't know. It's like a rosy pink. I probably will, just to see. If you guys like it, you like it, and that's great. And if you don't, then I've learned a valuable lesson. Never do things. And so here's another one. Of course it's blue. I swear I need to stop doing so many blues. So these are all in my non-superwash. And they'll be in everything else too. This will be all across the bases, which I will update this weekend, I promise. You know, I was gonna make this like either Blade Runner or Princess Bride to follow suit, but I just keep thinking Blue Jean Baby. Right, because I have a couple of other colors that are like Elton John inspired. Blue Jean Baby. And I don't know the words, I just make them up. They laid and seemed to oh, it's Tiny Dancer. Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. You don't want to hear me sing. So there's that guy. Those are all my new colorways. It was kind of a lot. I have some new ones that I'm working on this weekend. Some new colorways and yarn blank designs. But I haven't done them yet because I had to bring an order to my local yarn shop. Hi, Yarn's End. And sometimes I'm just lazy on the weekends and I think, oh, I did one thing. Isn't that enough? So it might have to be enough. And then we're just gonna sort of edge into the general chatter, general natter. What do I always say? I feel like I'm copying somebody and I don't know who. KT, she does the general chatter, right? General chatter? I don't know. You guys, I'm just gonna talk a little bit. Do I need a name for things? Probably. I bought linen. This is fingering weight linen. And I'm gonna dye it because my husband is vegan, so he doesn't wear wool, and there's all these things that I want to make for him, and so I bought a bunch. And if I like it, and if it dyes well, I'm considering adding vegan bases to my shop because it's hard to find vegan yarn. It's totally available, but it is really expensive. So there's this guy, and I bought some yarn. I bought some non-protein dye that I'm going to try because I have this in mind for him. He's a cardigan guy, so I got this. Who is this by? Michelle Wong. Yeah, Brooklyn Tweed, of course. All these beautiful sort of very natural, organic sort of styles all seem to be Brooklyn Tweed. So yeah, I'm gonna make him this Longfellow. My family has a Longfellow joke, but I don't know if it's appropriate, so I'm not gonna say it. It's just something I grew up with, and I just realized I was thinking it out loud in my head, and I thought, no, I'm not gonna put that out in the public consumption. So there's that. I'm gonna make that with this, I hope, because everything I've read about linen yarn is like it's not as stretchy, it's not as easy to knit with because it just doesn't stretch as well as wool, but it softens up in the wash, and you can like wash and dry it just like regular laundry. You don't have to do anything special, which I think is awfully nice, and I would like to make him a soft sweater that's not acrylic, you know? So let's do some enabling, shall we? I bought things a while ago. They showed up. I bought some pom-pom magazines. I bought the first issue they had. It's its 5th anniversary. It's so small. It's so small, but it's got really... I am not like a collector just to have things, but this actually had a lot of things in it that I want. Look at that. How cute. A little fitted cardie, and look at the detailing. Isn't that cute? Gonna do that. Gonna make it in the pullover. I like that color too, but it would make me look like I had rosacea. Here's some socks. Like those. All good stuff. I am not a mitten knitter. I say mitten. What do you guys say? What do you say, M-I-T-T-E-N or K-I-T-T-E-N? Because I cannot for the life of me pronounce those T's and speak at what I consider to be a reasonable pace. So it's mitten. Kitten. Anyway, I want to make those. And I also got issue 12. Pom Pom. This has a bunch of stuff in it I want to make. Oh, I almost showed you an ad. That's not one of them. You guys, I'm so sorry. I should have had things marked and ready. I think this looks like a nice sort of springtime sweater. Ba, 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 ba. Look at this. The texture on this sweater. How cool is that? Are those slipped stitches? They look amazing. Ugh. Ridiculous. More socks, lots of socks. Oh, this is the one that made me buy it. Look at this cute sweater. Ignore my nails. They get dyed through my gloves. Anyway, that's why I bought it. Oh, but then look at the texture on this one. Guys, what are those? I need to make them. So there's that. And lastly, I bought Pom Pom issue 17 because look at the sweater on the cover. Oh my God. I have to have it. I have to have it. Oh, and then this one. What? Look at that. Just beautiful. I mean, they do so. Oh, and another. A tank top. I know Stephen West has a tank top. I forget what it's called, but I'm not ready for it. You know, I feel like if I was mid-20s still, I would wear it, but I just look at it and I think people are just going to see an old lady trying to be young again if I wear that, which sounds really rude. I'm sorry. Wear what you want. I just don't want to wear anything that I don't think makes me look as thin as possible. Anyway, so my last acquisition, I know there was another acquisition, but I can't find it and I don't remember what it was. Oh, yes I do. Oh no, it was Sucra. I'm gonna get up and get that. So anyway, here is Amimono, room 606. It's Helga Isager. I don't know. She's like Scandinavian. I'm not going to try to say the country because I don't remember. I want to say she's Danish. I really want to say Danish because what is up with the Danes? Just, do they come out of the womb knitting? They all know how to do it. They're all very good at it. My sister-in-law is Danish and she just knits like, I don't know, like, I almost said like drinking air, like breathing air. Look at that sweater. Ugh, ridiculous. Have to do it. Have to do. Honestly, I picked this one. You can go to the website. It's not available on Ravelry, unfortunately. So you have to go, like, find Helga Isager, I-S-A-G-E-R. And they have English patterns, English pattern books. So I got the English one. I haven't read through it yet to see that I can do it, but I'll wing it. This is what I want to make. Look at that coat. Oops. It's like a house coat almost, or a driving coat, right? Isn't that a thing? Ugh, it's beautiful. That's the one I want to make first and foremost. Just, I mean, the patterns are so pretty. So I hope it goes well. I hope. One thing I find about the Danish is like they assume everybody else came out of the womb knitting, and so like they just assume sometimes I feel like that you're at the same level. They, all of them. I'm speaking for a group of people. And that's it, you guys. That's all of my acquisitions, all of my things. No, I was gonna show you Sucra. I'm back. So I ordered a couple charms, and they're so pretty, but I am a little like, they're really big. I mean, they're not really big, but they're bigger than I thought they'd be. Here's one. It's another snow cone. But see how kind of big it is? Is that going to interfere with knitting? Because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh, and this one too. Oh my gosh. Got a little bubblegum ice cream cone. Look at that. Ugh, I wish... Stop showing the lines in my hand, camera. I mean, it's actually a waffle cone. It looks just like a waffle cone. It's amazing. How does she do that? How does anybody do this? I tried making, I was like, I'm gonna make little stitch markers and send along with my orders. And I did for the first couple. And my stitch markers are atrocious. People must have thought I was just actively trying to insult them somehow with just the quality. They were really bad. So I stopped because I don't have an affinity for it. I'm not good at it, and I don't have the patience. I feel like this is an incredibly patient person. How you can sit down and make something that small, that detailed, blows my mind. I don't get it. I don't know how. I am in awe, but I'm never gonna do it. So that's everything, you guys. At least knit and fiber wise, do you want to talk a little? We had friends over this past week. My husband's friends he grew up with, and that was super fun. One of them is a, oh, what is it for beer? But it's like a beer person. You know, with wine, if you like actually pass all these tests and take these courses, you can become like an oenophile. Like it's some that you can actually, a Cicero is what that is for beer. That's what our friend is, and it's amazing. He told us that there was this beer brewery near us in Massachusetts, and the boys all went. I stayed with my little son, and they brought a ton of beer back. And I'm not necessarily the biggest beer drinker, but it was all guys and I really liked them, so I was hanging as well as I could. And it was the best beer I've ever had in my life. It's called Trillium Brewery, and I guess like they're big enough, like they don't even do orders, like they don't send their beer to places, they just, people line up for it apparently. It's crazy. I don't line up for anything. But it was really good. Really good. That was a rough night. Or a rough morning. Oh my God. Have a hangover and a 2-year-old. And you'll know where I was a couple days ago. So they were hanging here for a while, and that was awesome, and it was super fun, and I hope we all get to do it again next year. Because they're just, do you have those friends that are just like, you don't have to do stuff, you can just hang, and it's just the best time in the world? Because since we moved to Massachusetts, I've been really missing that, and it was awesome to be around. So I loved that. I loved having them here. I wish they were still here. And what else? I don't know. I haven't been reading as much as I usually do. I started reading this new book, and I forget the title, but it's about this, it's a non-fiction. A lady who like, her whole career is spent staunchly going against the death penalty, and then she meets this murderer who like killed this little boy, and which makes me kind of think I might not finish this book because I can't handle that. And she suddenly changes like her entire opinion on everything, so that's kind of interesting. But I don't know. I don't know. I love the My Favorite Murder podcast, so I was thinking like maybe true crime is a thing that I like, but ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't like, who likes hearing about violence against children? But yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not going to finish it if at the beginning I'm already saying I don't know 1,000 times. But I need something new to read. So if you guys have some recommendations, I would love to hear them. Drop a comment. And what else? It's been a lot of work, really. Just working and being hot because it's summer. And that's about it. I have a birthday coming up. Yeah. July is my birthday month. I do not like birthdays. I don't like surprises. I don't like celebrating my birthday. I don't like any of it. So yeah, I put a coupon code in my shop to take a little bit of the pressure off of me. So if you guys actually go to my shop, it's all one word, cheers to you. I don't know if capitals or lowercase matter on Etsy, so it's all capitals, one word, cheers to you. And that's T-O, not like to. And it's Y-O-U, not you. And that's 16% off. So it's a good coupon code. You should give it a try. If you're looking to shop for yarn, looking to do a little summer knitting. But yeah, so that's there, and I've been eyeing an Airbnb for a while now. I can't decide if I should just like do it or not. It's for Rhinebeck. I've never been to Rhinebeck. I've never been to any big knitting expo at all, and I know Rhinebeck's supposed to be like, is it the biggest? I want to say it's the biggest, which is both enthralling because I'd love to see what the biggest yarn festival looks like, but I also don't like crowds. So I don't know. I haven't decided. And my sister-in-law on my side, married to my brother, not Danish, they live in New Jersey, and she's been before, and she's told me it's really crowded. But they've expressed interest in going in on this house with us, but she is pregnant, and she'll be more pregnant by the time late October rolls around. And I say this with all the love, having been a crabby pregnant person, but pregnant women are tough, you guys. They're very mad at everything. So, some people really love being pregnant, and she loved being pregnant the first time around, but she is not feeling it right now, and I don't know if I want to get yelled at for like a weekend. I teasing, but also, you know, pregnant women are hard because they're having a hard time. They are growing a thing. So, yeah, being pregnant's tough. So we'll see how that goes. I really want to do it. It's my dad's birthday weekend that weekend, so I think it could be a fun thing for everybody to just get together. And my husband and my brother, that's actually how I met my husband, they're really good friends, so they would love hanging out. It's just a matter of me actually pulling the cord. What do you say when you're like gonna just do something, like decide to do something and do something? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a really pretty house. I really kind of want to rent it, but I don't know. Also, I'm someone, I love to have something on the horizon. I love always having a thing to look forward to. And right now we don't have any plans, so I feel like I need a thing, you know? Do you know what I mean? Do you guys feel that at all? I always want to have a thing. So, we'll see. I think that's it, you guys. My life's been pretty boring this summer. It's been a lot of 2-year-old mommying, which is super fun because I'm his favorite person right now, so I'm drinking it in, and working. I don't do a lot else. Yeah. Someday I'll see Wonder Woman and Guardians of the Galaxy and the new Spider-Man, but oh, I didn't itch my nose for so long and now I have to again. But not right now. Parenting. You kind of, if anytime you have 2 hours that you could actually go to a movie, you're like, that's 2 hours. I could lay down in peace and quiet. So that's what I've been up to. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I don't want to keep dragging this on like a phone call that just won't end. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you are a repeat viewer, thank you so much for returning. And if you're new, thank you so much for being here at all. I really appreciate it. I've had a few new subscribers lately, and I just welcome. Thank you. And keep on doing what you're doing, you guys. Mwah! Ooh, I look like I have lip liner. Oh, I don't like wearing makeup. Oh my god, I need water. Oh my god. Oh, I'm never gonna sleep again. Why did I drink so much coffee? Where do I look? My camera's that way, but it looks like I'm looking that way. Hello? Is this looking at the camera? Am I looking at you? Am I looking at you? Am I looking at you? I don't know. Turn off. You can't wear any more. Oh no. It went everywhere. Am I pretty now?